7 a.m. to 10 a.m. It's the Wake Your Ass Up morning show with Core DJ LA, playing a little bit of everything and especially that West Coast flavor, okay? Then you got the morning shift with Zaire. He comes in and does interviews, plays a lot of great music, and of course, videos and news you can use, right? Then directly after that is the Method Lab from 2 to 4 with Gio and Larry, followed by Fire in the Streets with OG, our music director. Make sure you check him out, playing some of the best independent music from across the nation every single day, Monday through Friday, 4 to 6, right here on hittinghardradio.com. Also, a lot of great stuff going on in the evening time between the hours of 6 and 9, Monday through Friday. So make sure you tune in for those shows as well. We have Caesar Studio with Way Back Wednesday show on the Comfort Zone. And then every Thursday night is Throwback Thursday. A lot of smooth grooves and a lot of funk and electro. All that stuff kicks in. Starts right here at 9 p.m. till 11 every Thursday night. So don't go nowhere. Make sure you guys tune in and check them out. And then obviously every Friday, it is Hitting Hard Mix Show with the Pitch Control DJs, bringing you all the flavor you can handle for your house parties. If you're not going out to the club, you want to tune in, all you gotta do is listen to these dudes right here. About to get it in. Keep it locked right here, hittinghardradio.com.
Still in bed, man. Yo, you need to punch in for that morning shift MKE with Zaire right here on hittinghardradio.com exclusively from 10 to 2 p.m. Check it out, man. You're missing out.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you tune in Monday through Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. to OG Gotti and Fire in the Streets exclusively here on hittinghardradio.com.
Photo shoot. Pause, 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 pause.
That's always dope to me. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, if you're listening in right now, don't adjust that dial. You're tuned in to hittinghardradio.com, which means that you're live. You're here, listening, watching, the uncensored, unfiltered, untethered, unapologetic, livest show on the internet's live today. We're going to set a record for how much I say live. You are tuned in to the METHOD Lab. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Larry D, Super Larry, a.k.a. Kill 'em Craig. And sitting right across from me, right here, is my unofficial Williams brother at arms, the host of the morning shift, MKE, and sitting in as co-host with me right here on the Method Lab all week, my man Zaire Williams.
What it do?
What's happening, man? It's Friday, man.
Yeah.
We made it to the end of the week.
It came fast too.
It really did. It really
Came fast. It's like as soon as it stopped raining, it was Friday.
Straight up. We didn't have no time to really kind of mellow through a sunny week. For a lot of people, this is like their first week of summer break. School is out. Yeah. You can't even say go play because it was raining for most of the week.
Had to deal with them kids. Mm-hmm. Ain't it crazy how Mother Nature just keep making y'all deal with y'all kids?
Saying, hey, go be a family. Go be nice to each other. That's how it be sometimes, though. Sometimes you need that.
There's some parents somewhere like, bullshit, that's what PlayStation is for.
You better start loading up them season passes. Keep them kids busy. Get them on that network. $2.99. I'm telling you, keep them busy. I'll be with mine today. My 14-year-old, who is babysitting her sister, and then I'll be spending the weekend with her. And, you know, she's been anxious to get to this summer break before high school. And I'm looking at this as we have a lot of preparation. We have a lot to go over. A lot of basic instructions to prepare her for life among them, among the high schoolers. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Because for her, it's going to be an intimidating thing. Like it always is for every freshman. Especially for her, because she's going to be in West Bend. And it's a predominantly white school. Huge school. So, you know, a lot of her friends and stuff are going off to other schools, or they're moving to other states, other cities. And, you know, that doesn't really bother her. It's more so just attacking this new animal, which would be a new school with new friends, new people. You know, really finding her identity and, you know, learning who to trust out there. You know?
Man, that's the thing. And she leaving high school? No, she going into high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, sometimes you get lucky and you go in with a bunch of kids that you went to middle school with, like, and that make it a little bit more comfortable, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you still got some challenges for being a freshman. I don't know if they still do that to this day, but they used to have the little hazing days, the freshman kill day, and all that.
Oh, yeah, I remember those.
Yeah. That's like a never dying tradition, huh?
Ooh. I never told her about those.
Yeah, you gotta have the talk.
That's what I said. I gotta have the talk.
Gotta have the talk.
Got to have the talk. Because I know that parents, I don't know if parents even talk about it. You know? I don't know. Because none of my parents talked to me about it until it was like up until that time, and they never spoke of it again.
They don't talk about it because a lot of the parents was hazers.
They always give you know what's fucked up too, because they always be like, do they still do freshman kill day? And I was like, I think so. Why? Huh. And they walk off. And they never say shit else. My father said that they still do freshman kill day? Yeah, I think so. I heard about it. Why?
Just asking.
Yeah. And I was like, for real? You know what messed me up? I saw this film where they depicted freshman kill day back in the 70s called Dazed and Confused. It was like a stoner comedy, but I caught it on like on demand and shit, like late at night. And it was all about this last day of school. And on the last day of school was freshman kill day. The freshman kill day was, you know, for anyone that doesn't know, for all you younger viewers out there. Back in our day, if you were a freshman, the last day of school was your worst day of school for the whole year. That was a day where a lot of the upperclassmen would haze the shit out of you. And teachers would really just let this shit fly. Hell, they would join in sometimes. They didn't give a fuck. They were going to make you do a lot of embarrassing shit. So basically, it was like, hey, this is the last day of school, and for the last day of school, we torture the new kids. Not some of them, all of them. Some are going to get worse than others because it's the 70s, and some of you are dark.
All right, now listening to it explained that way, because I never got to see the freshman kill day. I was in prison for that, but I did I was around for the 6th grade kill. They do it in middle school too, y'all. But the way you just explained it is that it's the last day of school, so I guess it's kind of like a ritual for you dying out as a freshman and becoming next, a junior, sophomore. Yeah.
So yeah, freshmen is like. It is kind of a rite of passage. Yeah. And for a lot of them, and especially...
When you explain it like that, it don't much sound like hazing no more. I guess that come from what the currently things they do to people.
Now, here's the thing. It's still hazing. Oh, yeah. Don't get it twisted. I know I made it sound eloquent, but trust me, people ain't shit that do this. Because they get fucking creative. Okay? The women get it the worst. Women... received it the worst. Guys, as much as it was, you probably got wedgied, you probably got your head dunked in some shit, you probably got food tossed on you or poured on you, you went home with some messy clothes or powdered on you. You got dunked on a couple times, probably made a couple videos, some highlight tapes. You probably got embarrassed a little bit. That's it. Back in the day, they also used to take pride in paddling your ass. Which, in all honesty, seeing how dedicated some of these guys were to doing this, it was damn near homoerotic. I didn't understand why this was such a fucking fascinating ritual among guys to do this to freshmen. But they wanted to spank them. And they wanted to spank them like they mama should have. And it was weird. Because they actually had paddle boards. And I'm like, what teacher opened this closet and let y'all just have his shit?
Yeah, see, I missed all that stuff.
No, they didn't do that for me in freshman kill day. That shit was passe. NWA killed all that shit in black high school. We wasn't doing that shit. Yeah. Freshman kill day was more so, you're a freshman, we beating your ass. Yeah. Unless you got some money.
That's what they was on in middle school, but I went to Audubon when I first went to middle school. I visited a few others later, them some whole other stories, y'all. But at Audubon, they had that 6th grade kill day. But we was like some different type of 6th graders because we was from the street.
Straight up.
You know what I mean? So it didn't take like that day. I don't even think that day lasted a whole day. We put the pause on somebody who came in the bathroom with that talk, and that was the end of that.
Let me tell you something. I had to participate in a 6th grade freshman kill day, and I was the 6th grader. That was the first. I think that was the first and last time they started doing freshman kill days, because by the time I got to high school, that freshman kill day shit was done. That was done. The hazing and all that stuff, they had cracked down on that shit. Yeah. Plus, I think Columbine really changed the temperature after that shooting shit. Then it was like, okay, that shit's done. So you'll never hear them say freshman kill day ever again.
They better not say kill nothing.
Exactly. You won't hear them yell kill. You won't even say the K word.
That's like a trigger word.
Right.
And teachers jump out of nowhere and pile on you.
You know? Now, when I was in 6th grade, It happened on the last day of school. And that was the day everybody got, like, you paid money for your locker. And then at the end of the year, you got your money back. So it was like a rental fee. So everybody that had a locker, that kept it, if it's cleaned out, they got checked off, they gave you your money back in an envelope. The upperclassmen that knew this, and it was really the hood motherfuckers, they was like, okay, motherfuckers getting their $5 today. We're going around and collecting. So I went to all 6th graders, like, yo, 6th graders got to pay up. They was like, either give up your 5 or you're getting your pumpkin head. Some motherfuckers giving up their 5 or they was getting fucked up.
They run around doing robberies.
Right. I had a cousin. I had a guy. I ain't gonna say his name. But he was a friend of mine. We came from the same elementary school together. I was like, bro, you give me your 5? He's like, I ain't had to. I was like, why? He know my cousin. And I was like, ain't that a bitch? I was like, I went to school with you. He was like, he don't care about that shit. I was like, well, fuck it then. He's like, you gonna give me your money? I was like, hell no. He's like, they gonna try to jump you. I was like, well, gonna be some fight motherfuckers in today. So I'm gonna give him my 5. Understand, my mother paid for this. Now, I ain't know it cost $5, but I didn't give a fuck if it was 5 or 100. My mother paid. She's supposed to get her money back. I'm getting her money back. So, I was like, well, we're going to be some fight motherfuckers today. I didn't get my 5.
I'm not going home without this money.
Right. And he shook his head, but he respected it. So, dude went up to me. He's like, yo, you got that 5? I was like, yeah. And he's like, what's up? I was like, you can't have it. And he was like, you do realize, you know what's going to happen, right? I was like, yeah, I know. He was like, all right, we're going to see after lunch. We're going to see then. Went to lunch. Everybody at the table, like, dude, you going to give them that 5, boy, they going to go out on you. Now, that table that they got, it's like 12, 13 people. 7th, 8th graders, whatever. They decide they was going to run up on me after lunch. So what's up with that 5? I said, no, you can't have it. He's like, man, you know what's about, he's like, I told you know what was about to happen, right? I grabbed the money. I switch it from one pocket, because it was in my shirt pocket. I didn't want it to fall out. So I switched it from my shirt pocket, and the envelope, I shifted it to my back pocket. Now, I got a book bag full of my shit. I set the book bag down. I put the envelope with the money in my pocket. I got one shot at this. I know what I'm up against. There's a crowd of people that are gathering. His group is there. 4 of them are there to get some money. The rest are there to see what happens and throwing a little bullshit kicks and punches and shit just in case. Just to be among the clique. They really there just to see what happens. And look cool. Mm-hmm. By the time I set the book bag down and I shift my hand and put the envelope in my pocket, I realized I only got one shot at this. I'm going to have to swing off. Why? And here's the funny thing about this. Here's a little secret about me. I'm such a film nerd. When I was young, as a teenager, I had a lot of times where my testosterone would kick in, my adrenaline would kick in, and I would say, that's why I watched this film. It prepared me for moments like this. I know now what I must do. So as I'm shifting this envelope into my back pocket, shout out to you, Suzanne Pendleton from Miami. Much love to you. knowing that I'm up against the odds. I say, fuck it. As soon as I get this envelope nice and tucked tight, I'm going to swing off because he ain't fucking made no contact with me yet. So when I turn up, I'm just going to swing. Whatever happens, happens. So I shifted it down, came up with a wild-ass right. Now, the dude is tall and lanky. So I knew he was going to go back. So I was like, fuck it. I'm just charging forward. So it's going to be like a tackle punch. So when he did that, I lunged forward because I was down like this. So I went low and put my body into him and smacked the friend next to him.
You got 2 for 1.
Yeah. So when they did that shit, it was like, oh! Because the truth of the matter was, I really wasn't sure if he was with them or just spectating.
Right.
But there was a lot of tall motherfuckers. And if he was that close, he shouldn't have been. So just in case, if y'all gonna do something, 2 of you motherfuckers finna catch it right now. So I put the body into him, I swung off, I caught the other guy. While I did that, I'm swinging. Dude is reacting to that shit, so he's leaning up. He like, oh shit, caught him with the left. So while he doing that, now a bunch of motherfuckers done jumped on me. So I don't know what's going on. I see fists flying, and the crazy thing is, I'm short. So luckily, they just throwing punches, and all of them are missing.
Hey, ain't that the beautiful part about being short? Nobody talk about.
I got a low center of gravity, so all these tall ass dudes is punching down, and I'm like, it's like being in like one of those huts and seeing swords just pierce through, but it's fists. So you're just dodging this shit, grabbing something, punching it, fucking holding it, twisting it, biting one, they pull you out, you stick one, you drop back down into the huddle and shit. So it's wild. It's so fucking wild. It's just bodies on top of bodies on top of bodies and bodies and bodies. And before you know it, security comes. I'll never forget, I think he passed away, but it was this one security guard named Mr. Patterson. He comes up, starts snatching kids off, and pulling bodies out everywhere. Now, while they hemming up whoever they caught, a lot of them scattered. I get up, my adrenaline is pumping, and I'm still ready to rage, but at the same time, I'm walking away because I'm trying to see who was coming, who else is coming. So I got the whole corner. People hemmed up against the wall, everything's parted. I see them taking care of it. I grab my stuff. I go to my next class. People are coming up to me. They looking at me, making sure I ain't marked up. They say I ain't marked up, and they walk off. I remember one of my guys ran up. He was like, "Oh yeah, he good. He's straight. They ain't even scratch him." So I'm in like a state of shock because shit got real intense. I felt like I had seen, old school Jackie Chan movies at the time. I've seen Bruce Lee movies. I've seen people in rumbles and shit like this. This wasn't that. It wasn't. And it was jarring for me. And even though I had no reason to feel ashamed, I didn't feel like I lost, but I didn't feel like I won anything either. I just felt like I kind of survived.
You like Eddie Murphy? He ain't get my cornbread.
Right. Right. That shit got real prison-like. And it's crazy because I told my stepfather about it. I went I told him about it. And he was like, all right. It's like some motherfuckers has tested you, right? I was like, yeah. He was like, okay, this summer. And I remember that summer, we went to Grand Rapids. And he took me to Mayweather's them gym. And he let me in there, and I got to learn some boxing techniques. Amazing time. Took home a lot. Couldn't wait to come back my 7th grade year. I was ready. I was ready. But I didn't have that problem.
It's funny how not. I like that. You said that was your step pops. You said who used to. I like that. And I was waiting for you to say what most of the men say when your kid come home, tell you they had a fight. The first thing come out your mouth be, "Did you win?" Mama be like, "You okay?" You
Let me tell you something. When that shit happened, at that school, I had a cousin that go there. She was an upperclassman. So, when she found out that one of them tried me, and one of them was in her homeroom, the other two were underclassmen in my other cousin's homeroom. So, word got to them fast. They had sent me home because I was fighting. So I had to go home. So that's how I was able to tell him. We sat down, went like downtown and ate like a burger and shit. Like took me out. He just sat down. He was like, we just started game planning. And he was like telling me, stories about him being in the penitentiary, how he had to fight niggas and shit. So, he related. He was like, boy, he was in a brawl. And he took the movie sense out of it and brought in the realness, the reality to it. Because I told him exactly what I did. And when I went home, he was like, show me. So I showed him what I learned from watching hours and hours of fucking movies and shit. And times of fucking imagine what it would be like to be an action film star. But I showed him, and then he would show me things that I should do, like boxing shit. To avoid that, he was like, great to do the body, but that wild-ass punch, he was like, you could have clocked both of them niggas with that one punch. Or at least jab one, caught the other, and really, did some damage. But I was able to take that and really evolve out of that. Because I had never been tried like that before. And you never know when you're in a situation like that. Now, when I look at it, we were wild-ass kids, doing wild-ass shit. Had any of us known what we were doing, a lot of us would have been fucked up. Because we was in a tight area that nobody could get to. We was in a confined corner, so we was getting it in. A couple of them will even admit they hit the ground. They punched the ground. But when my cousins found out what happened, because I didn't go to school the next day. When my cousins found out what happened, they called their cousin who went to Washington and a couple other cousins that went to King. And let me tell you something. Them motherfuckers showed up. They showed up to my school. My school is downtown. These motherfuckers caught the city bus. As a whole. And it's funny, because I had no idea this shit happened. The shit happened the very next day. I didn't come to school. We left. I didn't find out until I had seen my cousin later that summer. He was like, we showed up on the last day of school, right? And I was like, no, you didn't. He was like, yeah, we did. He was like, you weren't there. Y'all had went out of town or something, but we showed up. We was looking for the niggas that jumped your ass. And I was like, what you mean, we? I'm thinking him and his two sisters. He said, no, it was about 12, 13 of us. We was gonna even this shit. Like, like shit. Shit, they told her, and God rest her soul, Tasha, they told her It was about 12, 13 of them, so she found 12, 13 motherfuckers to come and shoot the fade.
Yeah.
And that was some real shit. And it was crazy because that dude that jumped that shit off, like, he had to switch schools off that shit. And I seen his ass. One day I was walking through Washington High School as I was in high school. I was visiting Washington, and I seen him walking through the hallway. I recognized him, but that nigga did not recognize me. And that's when I realized a real life lesson. All of that shit in school is temporary. It's all temporary. Shit that may hurt you and affect you or may have bothered you at that time. Let it pass. It's water under the bridge. You're supposed to learn from that shit, not take it to heart. And it's a shame because we don't really install that to our kids. We don't. We send them out there and we figure and let them deal with it, and they take it as this is the real world. Mm-hmm. This is it. This is how world is right here. In this microcosm of a building, this encapsulates how the world thinks. And you're only half right. It's a capsule of how the world thinks, but it's not how the world thinks. It just represents a very sectioned off, it's like a dinner plate with like all of these portions on there for you to try. They're not all for you. Some take some getting used to. Some are just bitter. And some the flavor just kicks. Some of those things you're not gonna like. But some of them kind of go well with the other. And it's really just learning that. But never take what happens from middle school or even high school to heart. Now, if it's something really serious and severe, understandably so, then yes. But we got to get involved in that. We got to have those conversations with our kids. So that's why, I'm focused on that this weekend. And it's going to be a bonding summer to really get her working to that. But for us, as grown-ups, that's another story. See, we're celebrating just another day. I wish adults could get a summer vacation from work. I was a teacher. That was what I used to call it. Summer vacation from work. Only problem was I needed to still keep working. So it wasn't so much a vacation anymore. Then you realize that's a temporary layoff. Bitch, that's seasonal. So I wish there was some way we could do that, and I'm pretty sure some other country probably figured it out and does it. Americans we're just not there.
For your videos over here, the numbers that came through is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, and 12.
10, 11, and 12?
Everything else ain't got no numbers on them.
Okay.
They got just the numbers to upload. They ain't got it.
I know some of them are filtering through slowly.
Okay.
We're over here getting our Friday playlist together for you guys, which I can assure you is quite insane. Why? Because, well, on Fridays, we believe in being fun. We believe in being a little loose. We believe in learning and applying what we learn into what we talk about. But at the same time, we also take great pride in having fun and entertaining and being as creative as we possibly can. So it's kind of funny. I found a lot of people have been tuning in and really catching the vibe of the show and sending me clips of things that were that are not only just like really, really dope, but also like vintage stuff that I never would have thought I'd have come across. And I really do think it's like cool how you guys just keep them coming and you keep sending them in. And a lot of these are like growing on me as favorites. I can honestly say, like, some of these are growing on me as total, hands down favorites. Because this shit is insane. Some of these are so just off the wall. I can't wait to play them, to be honest. With that being said, I noticed we had an announcement earlier today. I don't know if you guys know this. I don't know if you guys have heard. But tonight, during Game 4 of the NBA Finals, Boston versus the Golden State Warriors, Disney and Marvel will actually air the first look trailer of Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever.
Wakanda Forever.
Now,
wait a minute. He dead. Who the Black Panther?
Exactly. I didn't know they were filming it. I thought they were still writing the script.
Right.
So I don't know how they have a trailer already. This film doesn't come out until next year.
Oh, man, they're teasing people. It's too early to be trying to show me about this. When it go hit the bootleg stream? Streaming sites.
They haven't filmed anything yet.
They just made a trailer.
This is what people do.
How they make a trailer out of clips that didn't exist?
Here's what they do. This trailer they're going to show is going to be what they've clipped so far. They've clipped whatever they could so far. Okay? They started filming stuff. I will say this, they have started filming stuff. So wait a minute. If I'm not mistaken, they actually have been filming. Because I remember the actress, she got hurt. But I thought it was on the set of another film. But she actually got hurt, Letitia Wright. And it was slowing up production because of the whole COVID thing and all that other shit. But this film has been rewritten and rewritten and rewritten so many times that they must have been shooting this while rewriting it.
This film got a hell of a budget.
I mean, it is $1 billion film.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, you got to remember too, just recently, what came out? A trailer for Avatar 2.
Yeah.
$1 billion franchise. let's be real. Black Panther not only would have shattered Avatar's budget or their box office record, but it would have made it difficult for the Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame to top it. Black Panther came out and was obliterating the box office. Everything that came out got swallowed whole. And it was so devastating that Marvel had to release Infinity War early. People forget about that. They used Robert Downey Jr. to make the tweet. It was like, hey, you know, since everybody's buzzing, you know, with Marvel movies, why don't you just release Infinity War early? And then Marvel's like, well, you know what, RDJ, why don't we? I was like, get the fuck out of here. Y'all ain't releasing that shit because Robert Downey Jr. is doing that shit. Y'all doing that shit because Chadwick Boseman is on your ass. You about to crack $1 billion franchise, and you don't want that to interfere with Infinity War or this other stuff because that hasn't set the precedent.
I just know people was going to the movie theaters dressed like they just got off the plane from Wakanda.
Dog.
And one brothers here went to Menominee Falls with dashikis, banging the drums,
Niggas was in there dressed like Joffrey Joe Fur. Totally different movie.
My God.
Totally different fictional country. Niggas was making fan art. They were showing up dressed as fucking T'Challa and Prince Hakeem back to back and shit. The Lion and the Panther. Like, this nigga's not a comic character. They was, God, that shit was so cracking. Schools upon schools upon schools everywhere was taking field trips just to go see this movie. They didn't care. They didn't care. You had every black church, black school, black after school program, black family, black immigrant, woke black, half black, minority black, sometimes black, too black, all the way black. Goddamn you black. Midnight Black and Wesley Snipes. All of them came to see this goddamn movie in droves. Droves. And then, to make matters more fucked up, we got unified and said, let's go do it again. And we kept doing it. We kept doing it. And it made Marvel so much fucking money. And it made all these other films like, oh, shit. And then finally, Marvel had to buckle because they was like, shit, the black community is torpedoing everything. Because realistically, if Black Panther succeeds and cracks Avatar's record, then that means that these other two films that you got coming out with all these big budget stars, all of these fucking major actors that are going and doing Oscar-worthy films and all this shit, their contracts are all coming up. So if the film tanks or it doesn't outperform Black Panther, that shits the bed. That stops other predominantly white actors from taking on these other white characters because they're like, well, shit, the black folks got that.
Somebody like, I knew Black Panther should have been white.
And then you think about it too. Why did they rush early for us to get Infinity War out just so they could bombshell us by making us watch T'Challa turn to ashes? We was all sitting there like, that doesn't make any sense for them to take away Duke since the fucking film just came out. And he goes, what? Ain't that a bitch? Oh, hell no. Fuck that. People were salty. They were salty. But then it made sense. It made me realize, oh, you sons of bitches, this was your plan all along. This was the plan all along. If they would have waited and then did it, would have torpedoed their film. Because immediately, as soon as it would have came out, black folks would have saw that shit, we would have rioted. You niggas is trying to stop us. Ah! It's like, trying to kill a real one. They took away Falcon. They took away Nick Fury. They took away the raccoon was there. So we was like, oh, hell no. Bullshit. Bullshit. We wasn't with it. We wasn't going to be with it. They had to correct it. They knew how they fucked up. They didn't really believe, they didn't know that was going to be a hell of a character. So they had to write around it. They had to make it make sense. Rather than say, well, that's a character that we figured would be a throwaway. Or not even a throwaway, but somebody real cool we can introduce and build on. But in a way, kind of fulfill a demographic. They didn't realize that we were going to have an iconic character. This character is going to stand the test of time. Whoever steps into these shoes, if someone steps into these shoes, are going to be forever immortalized. They're going to have a standard to uphold. That's the thing. That's the reality of being in that role. You're always going to be compared to Chadwick Boseman. And half the time, some people may even take it personal and determine whether you deserve to even have that role. Because that's not an easy fucking feat. You can't just roll out there and just say I'm Black Panther and then be out in the club and shit and then go to jail for like getting caught with hookers. Nah. That type of stuff don't roll. Chadwick was different. Chadwick was other people. He was one of those guys. He was a dreamer. He was a thinker. A real, conscious brother. Aware of, what was around him and what he was capable of and what he had to bring to the table. Not a lot of people are like that. Not a lot of people have that. He did. And you gotta respect it. I, for one, I'm excited to see what they're gonna do. I've known for a long time what the plan was, although with the passing of Chadwick Boseman, things have changed. The storylines that they wanted to bring to life will be forever altered. It's going to be very difficult to determine, just off the top of my head, exactly what this film will be about. But I was told it will be just as much of a tribute as it will be a Marvel cinematic entry. So, stuff like this is hard for me to it's hard for me to sit and watch because of the fact that I am a fan. I did work in the schools when this film came out, when the first film came out. I took my kids to go see it, as a matter of fact, for their last day of school. And it was fun. I remember the joy on their faces knowing that they could watch this film in its entirety. And I loved how it made everyone feel. Like when it came out, there was such an excitement in the air. People were going to see it multiple times and just enjoying themselves and loving life. And now, looking at how things move today, it's sad. It's sad, you know, because there are people that you wanted to see a part of this universe and they can't because they're no longer here. And there's some people that, you know, that you wanted to see grow, and you know that they'll forever be affected with something like this on the resume, you know, that being a part of something like that. Because it's not like anyone else where, you know, someone passes away before the sequel. It's not just the star of it. It's really the heart of the picture, the heart of the franchise, you know, the real heart of the story. One of the most deserving cats to ever step into that suit, who really broke the mold and swung for the fences and just killed it. Gave us somebody that we could really get behind. Gave us somebody that even made us morally conflicted just by the subject matter and the pure tone of what he chose to do. I've heard actual brothers like kind of have like philosophical discussions over the plot of Black Panther. Even just the little portions of it where, you know, he's in the ancestral plane talking to his father, and he tells him, "You're wrong. You were wrong to forget your own," and how some of them felt like there's no way an African, true blood African, whatever, you know, take that stance. But then at the same time, you got to remind yourself it's a younger person. It's a different generation. So it provided like a real connection of folks that were looking at that and, you know, that don't even normally even function doing this. Like, people don't drink purple potion and then start talking to their ancestors under a fucking spirit tree. But they were talking like they were trying to discuss the, you know, the rules and ramifications of doing this shit. Like, this is something that actually happens. But it was just the belief behind it, though. It made you feel something. It made you feel a connection that you never felt before. So for some of us out there that talk like we knew that shit, probably didn't, but damn near felt like, God, I wish I could do that. Just wanted to. Just because. So that's why I'm excited for this film. I will be interested to see what they do. I'm not going to say I'm skeptical, because I'm not. I trust Ryan Coogler as a director and as a filmmaker. And I'm interested to see what Marvel's going to do, because I do recall them saying this was one of the hardest films that they've ever had to make, or at least that's what Ryan Coogler said. And I realized that has to be true, because the man was damn near arrested for trying to retrieve money from his own bank. So you know this was difficult. When you show up in public and they say, hey, let's arrest you for one old time's sake. Welcome back to the States. All right. Well, folks, it's Friday. And of course, I've got my popcorn, because I'm ready for the Friday mix. Now, the funny thing is, we've been loading videos into this thing, and I'm pretty sure technology made its way to try and communicate with me today. And I think...
One second, you said the mix, so Do that mean take the stops out? Because I was putting stops after every video.
Oh, yeah, you can take the stops out because we're gonna go from 2 all the way to 8, and then we can stop there, and then from there we're gonna go from 9 all the way to 19. So from 2 to 8, and then from 9 to 19, and
I think some numbers still coming over yet.
that's fine. That's fine. But while they're all loading in, and like I said, technology has a way of communicating with me. Because as videos were loading in, I think technology tried to speak to me from beyond my phone. And I think it sent me a message saying, fuck you. You know how I know it? Because my phone and technology worked in cahoots. And they said, fuck you. We're going to delete everything. So I had to reboot it. And when I rebooted it, it came back on. That's when I realized I was just hungry. So I had to plug the damn thing in, fed it some juice. And see, happy marriage. Fellas, you can learn a thing or two. So, for those of you out there, this special mix, or this actual shuffle of videos that you're going to see, I want to send a shout out to everybody out there. Like I said, Suzanne Pendleton is watching. Michael Freites, salute to you. He's out there. Vonnie, I see you. I see you. We got everybody out here. This is the Friday mix. I want to make sure that everybody out there likes, shares, subscribes. Also, make sure you hit the notification bell so you can tell a friend to tell a friend, tune in. Okay? And let it trickle down like that. The Friday before tomorrow. Now, I will say that this weekend is already a busy one because salute to the homie Gio out there with Paleta del Yayo, out there doing the ice cream social, getting people together, designing with the Boombox 2.0. If you're out and about in the neighborhood, in the city, you should go check them out, get you some ice cream for the family, go hang out, take some pictures with the Boombox.
Start 17th and Lincoln.
Mm-hmm. Right on Lincoln. Go check them out. Now, for those of y'all in your car, by all means, enjoy the sounds of a lot of humor being made. But you definitely want to bookmark this and watch it when you get home. Because I would say watch it in your car, but y'all are probably driving on the highway. Knowing y'all don't like to pay attention to multitask. And I don't want y'all crashing. So bookmark it. Watch it when you get somewhere safe or park. And for the rest of y'all watching at home, make sure you put in your headphones. We don't want you getting in trouble. Unless you don't give a fuck. But then, turn them shits up and put it on the Bluetooth. Mm-hmm. I think your password to the Wi-Fi TV, so you can put it on the TV screen and share it, is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. If not, it's 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. Try it. Trust me. Anyway, now that I gave you how to share it on your screen, and that's how you. It also works at JJ's Fish and Chicken too. For all you people out there. For all you out there watching, this here is our Friday mix. We'll get into some funny. Let's see what the funny mix we got here. All these videos have been submitted and turned in by people who watch and share and like and subscribe and tune into the show. And they're here to make us laugh by submitting as much crazy stuff that they find on the internet. And we're going to blind react to all of them. So, I got my popcorn, got my drink. So, everybody got his gummy worms. Let's do it.
So I saw this reply on Twitter first. Jennifer Lopez is far more beautiful than her. And I'm like, okay, who did Variety post? And you'll never guess the person that this person thinks Jennifer Lopez is more beautiful than. Take 5 seconds. Think of all the beautiful women in the world that Jennifer Lopez is on par or more beautiful than. And I guarantee you'll never guess who they thought it was. All right, 3, 2. She was replying to a picture of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's baby.
Damn.
Lilibet, Diana Mountbatten.
Kate Middleton, baby?
The baby, y'all.
She compared a grown-ass J-Lo to a baby?
Right.
Sweet little baby. Sweet little baby.
Whoever that person is
y'all,
a pedophile.
Y'all talking about the baby?
You said J-Lo look better than that baby.
Lilibet?
What the baby do to you? Oh, shit, turn this up.
Niggas still bar that. What you doing, son? Oh, okay.
Why? Why?
Oh,
shit. Why?
I heard everything break.
Oh, yeah.
What the
fuck? Damn.
Clips that give off the same energy.
On it, my nuts I'm palming. All these phone calls I'm taking with Craig Coleman. All this ball made on my body, I'm embalming. I'm the brand that the world wanna get involved with. Hey yo, traffic.
I thought that's who that was.
Damn. What is Jack Harlow? The bar mitzvah would be kind of lit. Okay, in front. What?
What's going on? I'll stop. Stop that 7.
Oh. Now, recently, they just had LeBron James at a bar mitzvah.
Did they?
Yeah. He was in there kicking it. They paid for him to be there. Gio said the guy was dragging him around. Told him, look what I found.
Look what he found. Look what he found.
Right, wow.
Yeah, 8 months didn't number up yet, but I got 10 through 19.
You got 10 through 19? Let's do that.
What the fuck?
This filter kills me. Now they're slapping this filter on all the movies.
Dr. Collins like this foster dad / matchmaker. Will be about me.
Yeah, well, she I can't even listen to that song no more. Like, I don't even listen to her freestyle. Me like, I can't listen to that. That's true. I just finished Family Feud, and then I was like, man, I think I can work, because I really like the beat for We Family. And I was like, man, I think I can take that song up a notch. So I started playing the beat. And I was playing it so long that I just started doing something, and she went and she got the headphones and she climbed on the little stool.
Wow.
And then she just started like rapping. Well, she started doing that.
Rhythm, yeah.
And the pocket she was catching, I was like, oh, shit. I can't believe it. I have it on my phone, 5 minutes. Wow. That was all I put on it. 5 minutes. 5 minutes of her doing that. I'm talking about amazing pockets.
Finding different pockets, really.
Yeah, but kept bringing back boom, shakalaka. I was like, oh, she understands the concept of a hook. Wow. She's 5. Like she understands the concept of a hook. Yeah. Like she was doing it, boom, shaka, and then go back into that thing, and then she caught that never see the ceiling in my whole life. I was like, what the fuck is going on in here?
Wow. Do you like Naruto?
What?
Like breathing heavily. You guys don't know who Naruto is? Okay,
Naruto.
exactly.
Who the hell is
It's
she?
an anime joke.
That's,
Naruto is an anime
Tikka
character
Siwa.
who's lovely.
She's actually funny. She has an HBO show where she goes at people and exposes their under the belly racism. She be killing. I played a montage of her shit.
Stitch, a movie that came out like 40 years ago.
I'm gonna slide you a clip.
Tiana, Khadijah, Lenny, Harvell.
Oh, Call of Duty. Mixed it with Snowfall.
Bodies.
Yeah, it's collecting.
Bodies.
I think we could work it out. So what are you doing now?
Skin on my pom pom, panic.
Why does shit match up those? Got the boom boom.
Oh, throw it.
Harry Potter, the boy who lived, come die.
That was good.
There's so many bad guys here. We can eat so much. Just let me have them. You said I could have the bad guys.
Oh wow, that was dope casting.
And with savings that fit right into her budget.
This shit crazy, boy.
Oh shit. See?
Where the person at?
USAA.com.
Final destination.
Yeah, lucky one filming. See?
Right here.
I knew that shit was real.
When is the new EP coming out?
Coming out literally in 1 week, you know.
Come on, man, you don't know better than that. New EP coming out?
Coming out literally in 1 week, you know.
Come on, man, you don't know better than that. Come on, man.
Dog clock during the...
Come on now, man. Just because you can.
I got the ones that didn't get numbered too.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, they just didn't have the numbers.
I want you. Don't keep doing that shit. My shit wet now. Damn, you got my spot.
What
the fuck?
What? My grandson, you would want this, honey.
I want you to comment what you
Okay,
think I
wasn't
can't do.
expecting that.
And I'm gonna do it right here on TikTok.
Oh, hell no. He said, man, one thing you want me to do is snap your fingers. He ain't got no hands. Music playing in Cracker Barrel after I walk in.
Don't find the police.
Oh, shit.
He taking his vest off.
Put it back up. He said, well, fuck it then. Why neither one of them can fight? What the fuck is this?
Oh, shit.
No, he didn't kick punch him. He kick punching. Well, fuck it then. Shoot the fade.
Now, if this motherfucker take his gun belt off.
Look, you don't know what to kick a punch.
Yeah, okay. Shut up.
Don't you shoot is fucking hilarious.
Oh my God.
It's my own design. It's my own ring. Help me to decide. Help me.
I don't even know how to use that. Like all that shit's happening now.
Comment what you think I can't do, and I'm gonna do it right here on TikTok.
Hey.
Oh, motherfucker.
He jumped out the copper and let them crash.
Yo, I know he would just do that. And you just gonna stand there, bro? Hey,
just waving him to die
hey,
out.
Oh my mama. I'm gonna see you in real life, my boy. I'm gonna catch your ass. I'm gonna get ready. Oh, you in my eyes right now, my boy. I'm gonna fold your whole ass.
I'm gonna fold your whole ass.
And then you standing over, nigga, for shit.
Oh my God. Oh.
That's all that.
Now see, you gotta love the gamers, man. The gamers provide the funny. No matter what, the gamers provide the funny. Yeah, I actually love doing online gaming. I really do. Cause you see some of the funniest shit, whether it's doing it on the PlayStation, where I run my basketball games, my wrestling matches. If I'm not on there conquering some universe or being an outlaw shooting it up in the Wild West, the Red Dawn Redemption. I'm out there just doing what I can and making it happen. I actually have just started doing online gaming off the Oculus, and it's crazy because I got this one game I'll describe to you guys. It consists of being an android. And what happens is you're floating around with these rocket boosters on your arms. And the rocket boosters are to shift you around in this zero gravity atmosphere. And it's like a dome. So you're in that dome, and what's happening is you are flying around with your booster rockets, and it's like a game of soccer. But you're shooting inside of this huge Astrodome tunnel. And what you're doing is you're floating by, flying by. You grab these discs, and you're tossing them towards goals. And it's a 3-on-3. So one is a goalie, and the other two are enforcers and strikers, or scorers. So you run a 3-on-3. Sometimes you can do 4-on-4, 5-on-5. It depends, but it's really dope. It's really in depth, and it's the one game where you can fly by and punch someone in the face. No lie. That's really it. Now, you can block this, and what happens is if you block it and they punch you, they experience what's called a concussion. Because what happens is you've shielded yourself, and they've hit armor. Now, if they punch you and you don't block it, then you receive the concussion. And that means your daze for like 5 seconds. And as your daze for 5 seconds, that means if you're holding on to the disc, you're not anymore. If you're covering for someone or screening for someone or blocking for someone as they're maneuvering with the disc and they hit you, you're not anymore. You're frozen for 5 seconds before you, or 3 seconds before you really shake it off and get back out there. Now, of course, the more times you get hit, the longer it takes, but it gets really intense. It gets really, it gets to be really competitive. And so far, I've run about 6 games out of there doing this. And I swear I'll figure out the name and I'll post a link on the chat, on the Method Lab chat group, which I can do that from the Oculus too, so that's pretty dope. But if you guys out there have Oculuses or whatever, and you're looking to game with me, I will share a link to the chat group. That way you guys can connect with me virtually. I'm going to try and go in today so I can sit in while the game is going on. I'm going to chill in the virtual realm of Horizon and kick it, shoot around, dunk. I'm going to do my thing. But, I'm going to kick it today, man. I'm going to kick it in there virtually. You know what I'm saying? I got my daughter, so I'm going to show her what that world is like. And I'll put the link in there and show you guys. But I've run 6, maybe 7 games out of this disc, this No Gravity disc app that's on there. And totally immersive. I'm undefeated. I'm the shit. I have like... let's see, out of the 7 games, right, I averaged like 2.3 goals a game, which are okay numbers, are decent. I do lead as far as in steals. That could be subject to change. According to the group I was with, don't let them tell you. They'll say that I just got there. I'm putting up rookie stats, but I say, according to the last 2 games I ran, those are legendary numbers. So, man, shout out to those guys, man. That's the cool thing about when you're a gamer. When you're blurred like me, it's easy to jump into those realms and interact with those people. It's like you can jump into a wrestling online tournament thing going on and just interact, and it's nothing. You jump into a basketball room or jump into one of those park games, interact, it's nothing. I can jump on Red Dead Redemption, go and be an online cowboy, it's nothing. GTA 5, nothing. This on the Oculus, we're just flying around as robot androids, customized with lights and smiley faces, and we're jumping around, throwing discs through aerospace with no gravity in space. No problem. It's for me, there's a sense of ease. Like for the longest time, and especially that's why it kind of feels full circle to even tell that story of, being in middle school. And I know I've told this story before, but I told it from a different perspective because of the fact that the time I told it, I was burying my cousin. Now, of course, it appeals a little differently. It rings a little true because I'm able to look at that experience and say, damn, that didn't turn me into someone that felt the need to grab a gun and shoot the school. That wasn't my path. That wasn't my experience. You know, I've had days where I've been to school and been embarrassed. I've had days I've been to school and wasn't popular or wasn't liked. I've had days where I went to school and, you know, had been roasted. I had days where I just did not have everything in my favor. There were rough days. There were good days, but there were rough days. There were some days it made me wish that I didn't have to go the next day. But I survived it because I did. I went the next day. And I realized that even though all that stuff may be funny, or it may be the big topic, or it may be the hot water cooler moment, the latest craze and discussion, shit is temporary. None of them remember anything unless that's all they had to think about. People that are in high school remember what they want to remember. They remember the good times. They remember the bad times. Some of them can't help it. Some of them go through life and then things happen, and next thing you know, it's like, we did what together? Your name is who? Life is like that sometimes. I've had motherfuckers that went to middle school with me and high school with me that I never got along with. Then I see them when I'm an adult, and they're the nicest people to me. And I look at them like, you do realize we didn't get along. Yeah, what was up with that? You were a dick. You're a total fucking asshole. Let them tell it we were best of friends. But it be like that. It's all temporary. The only thing that isn't temporary is what you make it to be. If all you have to fuel you through life is everything that happens that isn't in your favor, then of course all you're going to do is remember the bad times. You're not going to remember who was nice to you, because all that's going to matter to you is who wasn't. If you're someone who likes sports and you feel like you contributed your best sports years, your best athletic years into school, into that school in particular, and you don't quite meet up those expectations after that, you're going to hold yourself to that. You're not going to let it go. You're going to think about it. Why? Because somewhere in the back of your mind, you're thinking something went wrong here. If I could just figure out what, then I'm able to say, if I would have did this differently, then this would have happened. But the truth is, you won't know. You never know. That's why high school is so crucial. That's why it doesn't make sense to have a thing like freshman kill day. Freshmen are dead on arrival. And I don't mean that as a dark joke towards the shootings. I mean that as a preparation for life. They're dead on arrival. They're walking into a situation with adults that have no idea how to communicate with them. So they're walking into a situation where they're just loud for no reason. Here you have middle school kids who are loud, abrasive, toyish little shits. For 3 years, they've been raised up to carry themselves with a little bit of class, a little bit of civility, a little bit to be dependable, to learn and understand what it means to be responsible for shit. Also, you're building a work ethic. High school comes. Now, they're not the kids with civility anymore. Now, they're the kids that are just small and don't know shit. And then we treat them as babies because why? You just came from middle school. You motherfuckers probably still get recess. You know, this is the shit that they gotta hear. So it becomes a whole different animal. Now, they have to compete with kids that look grown as fuck. Now, you got kids that seem cute to people that are grown as fuck. That's what high school was. When I went to high school, those motherfuckers that was held back. They was just there. Oh, he only go to school for 2 hours, and then he go to work. You know, he got a baby on the way. Motherfuckers was working. Motherfuckers came to school for 2 hours, and then would go to work at Quad Graphics. The fuck is going on? This is 2000. We was doing real life shit. Real life shit. People was out here moving differently. Way differently. And as much as I would like to think that maybe, just maybe, there's room for exaggeration. Some of our schools had daycares. Yeah, right in there. Some of them had daycares built in. A lot of them had work release things going on where they could go to school for a little bit and then go to work, or they would go to work first and then come finish out the day at school. Yeah. So they would go to work in the morning time and then get off and then come to school, finish out the day. Mainly because they worked out by the school. And they would catch the bus or drive and then come, and then, you know, their brothers and sisters and stuff would be there, so they pick them up and they drive them home. And this was cool. They had it like this, you know. A lot of people who, you know, worked, did their shit in freshman year, got through their shit sophomore year, junior year got what they needed to do, and then senior year, they had to show up, you know, a few classes, you know. That's all they had. It was cool. So a lot of them don't really get to deal with that shit. But for those that struggle through, it's a little different. Way different experience. Way different animal. Way different set of stress. So you have little social cliques, little not gangs, but little gatherings. For kids nowadays, it's gaming. They're meeting on the social web and they're getting together and they're doing things like this. Making clips and videos and stuff like that. Now, for me personally, I get how some people are apprehensive, and especially some of you older folks are apprehensive. When I say older folks, I mean my age and, of course, above. Some of you look at gaming and you say, see, spending too much time indoors, spending too much time being antisocial. And I can see that. I can see that. But here's the thing. Forcing them to turn off one thing that they use to be social in order for them to be social in your way is not the answer. These people, these kids, these youth, these adults, they're being social in a very remarkable and unique way. You have to let things evolve. You have to. You have to let them push forward. You have to let them evolve. Because I guarantee you, these folks that's doing this, where they get online and they go and they do these missions and make these little funny clips, they're gathering together. They're talking. They're very social. Now, you know someone that's antisocial. The person that's antisocial don't talk to nobody. Don't like talking to anybody. You rarely see them talking to you. A person that's antisocial is not somebody that has a group of friends that they talk to, because they're antisocial. We got to get out of that habit of like projecting what we feel, what makes us feel comfortable. You know? And I know that's hard. That's a double-edged sword, because then that's like for black folks saying, you know, we got to make people, we got to stop making people feel nervous about whether they're going to offend us or not. Well, they know the rules. If they do it on purpose, it's not a mistake. It's a choice. Kids make mistakes. Adults make choices. If a person chooses to say something offensive or to antagonize me based on my race, they understand and are clear of the consequences of not just me, but anyone around me that looks like me. Now, if I understand that and they understand that, then let God sort it out. But I can't just expect the world to understand that rule and just follow it. We can't expect that. That's something you either demand or you get used to the fact that some people out there are going to push back. And you need to figure out how you want to respond. And what's worthy of a response. You know, it's crazy. We were looking at the news the other day when they were talking about the hearing yesterday. And they were showing off the people who were coming forward and speaking as not only the people who rioted and stormed the Capitol, but these are people who were caught and served like months and months of probation. A lot of them 20 to 36 months worth of probation. And a lot of them, it was like over 20-something, were coming forward to snitch. Or I'm sorry, not snitch. They were coming forward to testify to a grand jury about Trump inviting them there and telling them to go there and telling them to go and storm the Capitol and do what they do. 3 of them that were coming forward were actual Proud Boys. So next week, there will be another hearing, another public hearing live, where instead of listening to the police officers, the officer tell her account, and with her squad mates there also in attendance, she got to last night tell her side and her account of the events out there against the rioters. And she explained a lot of the stuff that they were saying to her and to her fellow officers. So next week, we get to hear from the people that was yelling the stuff. Because they're coming forward. They made a video, and they were listed. They had their names listed. They had how many months probation they were given. And they were out there saying, our president, our former president of the United States, told us to go up there and storm the Capitol. And they were all saying it. They were all coming forward and telling it. So they're all going to be testifying next week. Grand jury, deposition. And it's going to be prime time. It's going to be televised because the Democrats are going to make sure that this is must-see TV because they want to hold on to the seat, and this is how you do it. Oh, trust me, I'm not speaking on them like I'm not knocking the Democrats in favor of Republicans. Republicans would have did the same shit. Hell, they have. Okay? Democrats and Republicans are one and the fucking same. Neither one of them could be trusted without a gun in their back. I'm sorry. But no. They pulled an old school tactic. You see, you have to make the Republicans look bad by showing them how they backed and covered up an outright mutiny that was staged. This was an insurrection. So you have to show that that's what this was. So they take primetime television, they say, this is what it is. You guys are going to see exactly what we've been talking about. These events were planned to disrupt the judicial process. And the Republicans are using their their government given right for amnesty. Because none of them are going to see time. None of them are going to jail. Ted Cruz was there. He ain't going to jail. Giuliani might and maybe not. Donald Trump ain't going to jail. They gathered, all of him and his little cabinet flunkies gathered these fucking people down there and told them what to do and what they were going to do. So they went down there to do it while they hung behind and left. And those people went and acted a goddamn fool for hours and hours and hours before Donald Trump told them to go home. So, and that's only when they couldn't get the job done. The whole time, he didn't say shit. And why would he? Why would he? Democrats are so fucking focused on trying to prove the fact that Trump couldn't find anything to say that they had taken the election. That's what they care about. They care about exonerating themselves from his allegation. They don't even give a fuck to focus on the thing at hand. He had instructed an insurrection. He may not have told them, I want you guys to go out there and cause an insurrection. He told them exactly what he wanted them to do. It just so happens that's an insurrection. Only problem is these fucking idiots didn't even know that's what it was. That's why they're sitting there saying, we're showing love to our country. We're defending it by breaking into a building. How are you defending your country by breaking in to its nation's capital? Who's going to defend their country from you? These are the same motherfuckers that sit there and say how they support the troops and Blue Lives Matter. But when the Blue Lives were telling them to go home, they told them, no, fuck that, and started trying to kill them. So then the cops are sitting there saying, well, there's no way they love us. There wasn't Democrats. Democrats left you hanging. Republicans tried to kill you. Remember that. While you thumbing through your votes and your ballots trying to figure out which evil to vote for. The lesser or the more? I'm so sick of that bullshit. The lesser of two evils. When we gonna just abolish that shit? We talk about cancel culture. When we gonna cancel that shit? When are we going to cancel voting and picking and choosing and allowing and forcing ourselves to choose between the lesser of any evils? And we're going to sit there and say, well, how do you do that? By not picking them. Obviously, we have a situation here. We have to prove, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that our vote matters. How are we going to prove that if we're too scared to challenge it? We're too scared to challenge it. They tell us every year our vote matters. You have to vote. Our vote matters. Yet, we always get the results we don't want. And both sides always question as to how we got there.
Oh.
So, if our vote matters, why aren't we challenging it? Why aren't we testing the waters to see exactly how much it matters? Could it be that we tested that theory and that's how we got Trump? No. Because Trump had a good turnout of people that voted for him. Or so they say. We don't know. Because we were too busy picking between the lesser of two evils.
They're still evil.
Exactly. That's what I said. We got cancel culture for everything but that. The lesser of two evils. We've had nothing but choosing between the lesser of two evils when it comes to politics. What happened to... We got to choose between two candidates we don't really fuck with. Demand a third.
Right.
Demand there be a third entry. But there's always going to be those sides forcing you to choose between one or the other. Because that's what Democrats do. Democrats and Republicans. There's a good portion of them that are Democrats and Republicans. The rest of the population, which is a good majority of them, don't register with each side. Either side. They're just choosing which one has the best policies for them. Well, this one stands on this, that, and the third, but they're against this and that. And this one's against this and that, but he stands on this, that, and the third. I'm gonna go with this, that, and the third. Dudes seem like I can deal with 4 years of fucking potholes. Fuck it. I'll bike it the rest of the way. That's when they're making the grown-up decisions. Making the sacrifice between, well, this one's on this agenda, so yeah, I can stomach that. I know there's never a perfect candidate. I know that. But what I'm saying is, why are we going with people who are represented by people with bigger interests? We're always rooting for the puppets. We vote for the puppets. We vote for the ones that are influenced. The ones that aren't, and saying that, hey, I ain't rocking with neither side. I'm doing this for the people. And we sit there and say, I don't know, you look like Colonel Sanders. Yeah, I don't know, man. You look kind of old. I don't know, man. I ain't like the fact you screamed at the end of your speech. I don't know, man. You wear a tan suit. That just don't look presidential to me. Bullshit. Just minimal shit. That strips you of being fully capable of being a policymaker. That strips you fully of being someone who can affect change. Like, the fuck we be on sometimes. That should be goofy to me. I be seeing this shit. I hear that shit. I see it in the comment section sometimes when I be on like little chats and stuff. Not on the group chat, but just when I'm on the gram and on your YouTube and stuff, and sometimes I be feeling myself like typing in like multiple sentences, and next thing you know, I just stop and be like, man, delete this shit. I ain't finna argue with these motherfuckers.
I do that when it's getting too long. Be like, there's too much typing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do that when I read somebody's status. That shit too long. I be like, man, I could have picked up a book.
Right. Like, I know sometimes I rant, and I have to write it down, but I have to turn it into something. And that's the only way I can do that is if I write it down. But also at the same time, if I'm feeling something on my soul to say, I'm going to get it out before I just go and fully commit to blowing up that bridge. At least I'm able to register it in my mind and be like, oh, on second thought, that shit sounds stupid and petty. Let me put that shit away. You know? You unbox and unpackage that shit real quick. Not a lot of people can do that. Not a lot of people can do that. They're going out there and they're saying it's over. It's over. Nuclear holocaust to everything around. Sitting there, be telling them about, hey man, be careful about burning bridges. What bridge?
I can swim.
Right, never mind. You know, we got to be careful. We got to be careful. We've allowed ourselves to be too complacent when it comes to decision making, when it comes to the choices that carry us from point A to point Z in the long run. Like, some of that shit has to be carried in a different way. Some of that shit you have to give a fuck about. You know, I understand sometimes it's popular to say fuck that. I got 0 fucks to give. I'm fresh out. But that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Not all of us are pushed to that limit. Not all of us are living that life. Some of us are perpetrating and really just not taking care of our fucking responsibilities. It's my responsibility to these kids. It's to the youth. To my family. To the people that depend on me. And if I know that the people under me can understand that concept, then I'm all right. I can't speak so much for some of these guys that's on these goddamn gaming videos. They got issues. Some of these cats, they going through it. Why? Because they're emotional when they lose. There's no lie. I saw one dude the other day. It was a basketball game on live, and he was getting his ass buzzed. They was blowing this dude out by like 20-something points. You know what the dude and his friends did? It was a 5-on-5 in the park, and I'm sitting there watching this shit, waiting for my turn to get in on the hustle game. There's a 5-on-5. They're blowing them out by 20-something points. Dude shot the 3. They scored. The whole 5 players on the court ran to the sideline and then started running laps. As a whole, all him and his 5 friends started running laps around the court while dude was checking out the ball and running up the court to make a shot. And the funny thing is, they made a full lap before he actually scored. They were cracking up. Dude was salty. Because it's an insult. Nowhere in the history books, if you told me that you went to a basketball game and you saw the Golden State Warriors play the Los Angeles Lakers and Steph Curry went down and sunk a shot from the half-point line, from the half court, and the Golden State Warriors went up 27 points, and then the whole starting 5 ran to the sideline, and then started running laps around the fucking gym while the game is still going on. I'd have been laughing. You would have been laughing. Especially if you've seen this on TNT. That shit would have made ESPN. That shit would have made World News. That shit would have been everywhere. LeBron would have been embarrassed. LeBron would even have played. He would have demanded a trade if some shit like that would have went down. But to see some shit like that happen in a video game, hilarious. Hilarious. Now, the person on the other end of that didn't think so. He had to suffer that loss. He had to hold that L. But he'll get over it. Because even though we got the video, we'll never know who that was. He'll know. But we won't remember. Because it's temporary. So no matter what you escape into, kids out there, no matter what it is, man, the rule remains the same. It's temporary. Don't hold on to it. Learn from it and move on. You're going to be embarrassed at some point in life. You just got to learn to accept it and how to bounce back from it. That's it. So, it's been a Friday. It's been a hell of a Friday. It's been a hell of a week. It's been a hell of a journey going through this week. And so much left to do going into the next. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming in here and joining with us and chopping it up with us and sharing and liking and subscribing and tuning in every single day. We thank you. We love you. Tune in with us as well. Make sure you watch. If you missed any of the episodes this week, go ahead and check that out. Make sure you follow the Morning Shift MKE so you can get tuned in and tapped in with Syer and everything that's going on in the community. Make sure you're following us and make sure you're following Hidden Heart Radio, the Pulse of the City on Facebook, and also that you're logged into the website. We getting out of here. It's time to go.
It's time to get some ice cream.
It is. So I want to thank y'all. We love y'all. Peace, hair grease, and nappiness, and all that all around and everything in between. We out.